for. And those are visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi coming in on News 18 India, where he is at the Arail Ghat and he's walking. So he's landed from the helipad near the Arail Ghat, and that's the boat that will take him to Triveni Sangam. So there is not too much of any stoppage, roadblock, no welcoming, nothing. The Prime Minister just getting down. He landed in Prayagraj. From there, gets onto a helicopter. There is Yogi Adityanath, who has received him at the helipad, and he is walking with him across. So these are the pictures. Karan Verma, will this have a bearing on Delhi? Is there a political angle that you would want to look into this one? Or as Huda Zariwala says, Mr. Kejriwal has done enough and more for the Delhi voter?
Absolutely, Kejriwal has done enough damage for the people of Delhi. So I think this is beyond politics, if you ask me, Anand. As you just said, I personally feel no Prime Minister has worn our culture as a badge of honor more than the Prime Minister. I mean, we've had precedents in the past where Prime Ministers have said that we should not have a construction of a temple as this will lead to Hindu revivalism. So a departure from that, this is also a contrast model of Vikas bhi, Virasat bhi. Let's not forget today that along with us presenting our culture to the world, it's also led to a temple economy, which is a 3 lakh crore economy today. It's also given a shot in the arm to so many small businesses around and boosted the economy, the face of Uttar Pradesh. And the Prime Minister has been front and center of it, right from Kashi Vishwanath, where we had the corridor renovated, to the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha and the Mahakumbh. I mean, it's only fitting that the Prime Minister of the world's largest democracy is right there at the world's largest spiritual gathering. So I see it beyond politics. But yes, if you ask me, an average Delhi voter, if one sees these visuals, their hearts swell with pride, seeing their Prime Minister front and center of it, who's at least unabashedly, unapologetically wearing his culture on his arm. He represents us in that sense, and it's beyond any particular faith, as you rightly put it. It's for everyone. And when we talk of Sanatan, it is the ethos of pretty much everything from our constitution to the parliament. Look at our national creed. It is Satyamev Jayate. That's again coming from our Sanatan Dharma. You enter the parliament, what do you have there? You have Dharma Chakra Pravartanaya. Our judiciary, the slogan is Yato Dharma Tato Jaya. So, the stamp of Sanatan is pretty much there, and we have a Prime Minister who represents that, embodies that. And look how Uttar Pradesh has come up in the last 2 years.
But we have to tell our viewers that the word dharma, which is used in those idioms and those phrases, does not mean any particular line of faith or panth.
Absolutely.
It actually means doing what will sustain society in the right manner. So uplifting of society, dharayate iti dharma, and that's where the connotation of dharma comes. It's panth agnostic or religion agnostic. It's about what will sustain society, what will uphold society. Here the dream or the pitch is of a Viksit Bharat and a Viksit Delhi that has been made by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the Congress party, Huda Zariwala, has been punching holes into this entire Shiksha Niti of the Aam Aadmi Party. They have just quoted recent research and also government data and RTI that says that the Shiksha Niti is not as covered in glory as the AAP claims. There are many loopholes and a lot of lacunae. The number of classrooms that you claim that have been built are not enough to sustain the kind of demands. And the AAP has actually let people down on various fronts, be it pollution, be it parali, be it cleanliness of the cities, or even basic Shiksha Niti. The allegation made by the Congress, Ajay Makhan was doing their press conference based on what an individual researcher has now unearthed, is that even the SC community has been marginalized in the education Niti, Shiksha Niti.
As far as Ajay Makhan ji's press conference is concerned, if you remember, his own party members didn't support him because he was bringing out, all sorts of baseless allegations about Arvind ji's association with terrorism, if you remember. I mean, none of that made sense, right?
Well, that was before the Congress decided that they are going to go after the Aam Aadmi Party and sever all these alliance and India alliance conversations. After that, a lot of water has flown under the bridge in the Yamuna.
Right, discrediting Ajay Makhan ji's stance on the whole thing. But that being said, Arvind Kejriwal ji is literally the only chief minister, ex-chief minister rather, and hopefully, the future forthcoming chief minister as well, who openly claims that if work has been done, vote for me on the basis of work. This is one chief minister who has the guts to step down even after respectfully getting a bail from the Supreme Court in a case, by the ED, where in the bail is such a difficult matter. We've seen, how one after another allegations were put forth. And he stepped down. He put up Atishi ji on the chief minister's post because he wants to come back with the people's mandate, with the people's majority. So it is a party with a difference. All of that has not changed. The work on the ground
Interesting that you say that Arvind Kejriwal put Atishi there. He didn't say that it was the cabinet decision and it was the Aam Aadmi Party that collectively decided to ensure that it is Atishi who replaces Mr. Kejriwal till Mr. Kejriwal is absolved of all the charges on him. And he's not got bail respectfully. He's got bail because bail is mandatory, jail is optional as far as the rule books of our law is concerned, and the charges against him still stand. He's not been, he's neither been convicted nor has he been, absolved of the charges against him. But coming back to these pictures, Prime Minister Narendra Modi right in the middle of the Triveni Sangam, that's the huge spread of waters, yeah.
In the boat that they're traveling, right at the front, you can't see the Prime Minister because of this
Yogi.
angle, but at the front, it's just the two of them. It's just Yogi Adityanath and Prime Minister Modi, and I think they will have enough to talk about, not just in terms of, what are the arrangements for today, but also, let's not forget, it comes in the backdrop of that very, very terrible tragedy that happened.
I think the question that's going to be in everybody's mind is, it's such a vast expanse, and if you see the Sangam nose, it's a huge parcel of land.
Yeah.
So the question that everybody is going to ask, and perhaps the Prime Minister would also want to understand, is how could an incident like that happen when there is so much space available?
Yeah.
And I think that's where the questions will be, but these arrangements are elaborate. This is also a statement, Zaka, beyond the politics, the optics of it itself, to have nearly 40 crore people.
Yep.
And that would be perhaps the third largest population in the world,
Yeah.
coming to one particular temporary tent city over a period of about 45 to 50 days. It's a show to the world that people here can combine together, come together in peace, in harmony for a spiritual quest, and India can organize it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think no doubt about it. It's a testament to the arrangements that have been put in place by the UP administration, the Allahabad administration. I believe there are special commissioners who've been assigned just the role of organizing the Kumbh. And like you said, 38 crore, they were looking at 40 crore. But I think by the end of the month, 25th, 26th is when the Kumbh gets over. I think you might even touch up to 50 crores. So I think it's important to underline that, it's a massive humanity. Let's be very clear about it. It's a massive humanity that's turned up there at Prayagraj for the Kumbh. Of course, unfortunately, the stampede did happen on the occasion of Mauni Amavasya. Hopefully, the lessons from there have been learned. The district administration there has made quite a few changes. You can only now move in a one-way direction. No vehicles are allowed at the city center. I believe a lot of the middle part of the city is accessible only by foot. So all of those changes are good. There are directional changes that have been made in the traffic as well. Two-way roads have been made one way. So all of that is good. Hopefully it should have been done before such an unfortunate incident happened. But hopefully, like I said, people have drawn the right lessons from it. You can see as the boat is now speeding towards the Triveni Sangam, the Sangam nose as it's known, there are crowds. I think those are crowds on the other side of the ghats, behind the boats where the banks of the three rivers, the Ganga, Yamuna and the Saraswati meet. That's where you can see the crowds.
Yeah,
They're also,
that is actually the Sangam nose. So where you see the sea of the lot of crowds
People,
there, people there, that is the Sangam nose. And what we are given to understand that night, that fateful night around 12:30, 1 a.m. is that right at the banks, because they wanted to be the first to take the dip during Mauni Amavasya early in the morning, there were a lot of people who, against the advice of the local authorities and despite repeated reminders, had decided to sleep in the open at the banks. So when those barricades broke, people fell on each other and a lot of them were sleeping there, and that's what caused this. So now I think that's been now stopped, and there is no way at any point in time that anybody can sleep around the Sangam nose and in that bank area.